everyone, welcome back to Vital Healing. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Dr. Candida Schwartz. I am a naturopathic doctor as well as an intuitive healer. For today's Thursday's episode, we're going to talk about hydrotherapy, kind of like a hydrotherapy 101. The real basics about why it is such an incredibly powerful healing tool to incorporate into your life. And all of the different things that you can use hydrotherapy for. So a brief explanation, a brief list of ideas about how to use it, and then I'll also share a really basic technique at the end of the video about how to use it. So where are you at with hydrotherapy? Do you use it? I mean, so many of us ice, you know, an acute, like we sprain our ankle, we ice it, right? We drink lots of water throughout the day. So from those really simple techniques to, you know, really intense techniques like polar plunges, or people that are in, you know, saunas and then they do a plunge in an ice water bath, you know, and everything in between. There are so many different techniques that you can do at home to heal your body, mind, and spirit using the application of water. It's easy, it's cost effective, right? We've got it all in our house, or at least most of us do. And again, it's such an old therapy that's been used for 1,000 years at least, throughout cultures, throughout the world. So, and I'm happy to do more videos of more advanced, like with more advanced demos of hydrotherapy. This is very, you know, it's such an old therapy. I just love it. And as a naturopath, it's something that most of us use with our practice, like in practice every day. So like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, comment below. Do you use hydrotherapy? Do you have any experience with it? What are your questions around it? What's going on with you? What are you wondering if hydrotherapy can help you with? Because I guarantee it could help with everything. So just to talk about the basics of hydrotherapy, this is an application of hot and cold. And so in general, when we apply hot, or we submerge a body part, or we apply a hot cloth or a hot water bottle, or, you know, even like a hot water bottle, although it's not my favorite, but when we submerge, like say you have arthritis in your hands and you submerge your hands in hot water, what's going to happen is that all of the blood vessels are going to open up. When that happens, you're opening up all of that tension and tightness because there's so much swelling. When you have arthritis, which I do, that's why I'm talking about it, you start to have these nodes and your fingers get kind of tight, right? So when you open up the blood vessels, you are making space for the blood to move and start circulating. It's because the tension is released. You know, when you apply warm or hot water, it's very relaxing to the tissue. It's very soothing. So then when you do like a cold dunk in an ice cold bath, what you do is you vasoconstrict. So all of those blood vessels that opened up for vasodilation with the hot, you put the cold, and then they're going to constrict again. And then you go back into hot, they open, then they close, they constrict. So I don't know if you've noticed, but we're kind of creating a heart, right? Doesn't this kind of look like a beating heart, right? Dilating, pumping. It's pumping. There's a pumping mechanism, right? So, and I'll go through the details about like how to do it at the end, but I just want to talk a little bit more about how you can use hydrotherapy. Again, there are so many different techniques, and I'm happy, so comment below, or do you want to see like more advanced techniques? I'm happy to do videos on them. So as far as what you can do it for, I do hydrotherapy for everything from migraines to sinus issues to ear infections to pain anywhere in the body, right? Any kind of muscle tension, any kind of joint inflammation and pain, anything. swollen glands, sore throats, strep throat, any kind of chest congestion, any kind of lung congestion, right? Bronchitis, asthma, all of those, you know, any of those. And then gut issues, you know, it's a really great way to detoxify the organs. So if you're constipated, things are stuck. So you put some hot, it'll relax the tissue. And then as you apply the cold, it'll constrict the tissue. It just brings movement, and again, this pumping action in the veins to circulate the blood. When we have issues in our body, our gut's inflamed, we're constipated, you have IBS, you have SIBO, you have IBD, you have chronic arthritis, chronic migraines, tension in the muscles and the joints, you know, trouble sleeping, you need an immune boost because you had Lyme or because you had COVID. Maybe you need an immune boost because you've been around a lot of sick people at work and you're just like, okay, I want to prevent getting sick. Doing hydrotherapy is incredible for all of those things. It's really relaxing, it's really detoxifying, it's really immune boosting. But when we have issues like with a swollen joint or a gut inflammation, there's a lot of old cells there. There's, you know, your entire immune system is sending cells to drop inflammatory markers and create inflammation in that part of your body. A lot of those cells die fairly quickly. So everything's stuck. Everything's just stuck. So you bring in this beautiful technique, and again, you've got that pumping energy. You're moving energy. You're moving chi. You're moving blood, right? It's all the same thing. Chi, energy, blood, it's all the same thing, right? So, and then of course, anything in the lower limbs, you know, tired feet, bum knees, bum ankles, whatever, right? Any kind of muscle tension, any kind of, even like I've found that like if you have like a rib out or you have like a spine, like one of your vertebrae is out and you can't get to the chiropractor, I mean, you probably would need help with this one, but like you could apply hot and cold to the area and see if just the muscles naturally allow space to bring the vertebrae back into its natural position. And it's a really nice thing because it's going to take, you know, about 15 or 20 minutes to do the whole thing. So it's a really nice thing to just get mindful and do some visualization or just rest, do some meditation, especially if you can get somebody to help you with it, then it's really, really nice to receive. So, any part of the body, right? I mean, I have people do hydrotherapy on their feet before bed if they struggle with insomnia because it's grounding. It says it's time to bring the energy down, come into our bodies, relax, and go to bed, right? It's really good for that. It can be really calming in the midday if you're struggling with something. You know, I know a lot of people have, you know, nervous stomachs, and a lot of people get inflammation and pain because their nervous system is really riled up and their adrenal glands are kicking out a bunch of cortisol, which only just triggers more of an inflammatory reaction and causing more pain and lowering your immune system. And you see the spiral you can go into. So hydrotherapy is a really great thing to incorporate into your everyday. Whether you have something chronic or acute, it can really help with everything. So one thing that I really like to do for anything is applying heat for a few minutes. A washcloth or a hot, like I use a basin or a bowl or an old pot, and I might, you know, because I have arthritis and I have carpal tunnel, I might put my whole hand up until here into the hot water. You don't want to burn yourself, but as hot as you can tolerate. You let the tissue get really, really hot. You really absorb all of that heat. And then you can plunge it after a few minutes, you know, about, you know, 3 to 5 minutes or so. You want to then plunge it into cold, ice cold water, and maybe for 30 to 60 seconds. And then you go back and forth, and you do that 3 times, always ending in cold. This can be so good. I can't stress it enough. Now, you can do that with your feet. You could maybe you could do an elbow. I think that would probably be easy enough. But how are you going to deal with sinuses? You could do steam inhalation. That's a really great way to do it. And I'm sure, most of us have done that when we were kids with the pot of water and the towel and the Vicks vapor rub, and it's really helpful, right? And that's a really great way to use hydrotherapy, right? So, but the other thing that you want to do is if you've got like a sore throat, you can't plunge your throat in, right? If you've got an upset belly or a nervous belly, you're constipated, or you're struggling with leaky gut, or whatever is going on, or it's your back or your chest. What you'll want to do is you'll want to take a cotton cloth and put it in the hot water, like as hot a water as you can tolerate without burning yourself. Wring it out really well, and then apply it to that part of your body. So even if you just want a detox, right? Like you don't really have any chronic issue, you just want a detox, you can do that over your gut. You have all of those organs of elimination. It's a really nice way to detox the liver and get the intestines moving. So you would take that hot and you would put it on your belly for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, get the tissue nice and hot, and then wring out the cold cloth and put that on your body, let it hang out for 30 to 40 seconds or so, maybe a minute, and then do it back and forth, just with those 2 hot cloths, like a hot water cloth and a cold water cloth. Again, if you're doing your back, you'll probably need help, but you probably could do it on yourself on your neck. You could do it for yourself on your sinuses. You could do it yourself on your chest. And you could probably do it on your belly, but if you've got somebody that can help you, of course you could do it to any of the joints. It's just a really nice way to do a little self-care, and it's a great therapy. It's cheap. It's pretty easy. And like I said, I have so many hydrotherapy tricks up my sleeve. So if you're curious for more, like maybe a hydrotherapy 201, 301, that's how we did it in college. Let me know, comment below. Please like, subscribe, share. Yeah, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Take really great care, and at the very least, use hydrotherapy, drink a lot of water. Okay, have a great day.